Brian Walter from Oklahoma. What a pleasure to be here on a topic that we both share in common, that's got deep roots in the Bible as well. And by my first acquaintance here in the U.S. Senate was with Tom Coburn. He actually came in for me when I was running in Indiana. And when they ask who my mentor has been in the Senate, I always refer to him because he was the first kind of citizen legislator that knew finance and budget better than anybody that's been here, especially the career politicians. So we shared that common interest in, for the biggest institution in our country, the federal government, that so many people look to see how it's been debased over time. Getting away from that simple idea is make a budget, lay out for the American people what you're clearly for, do regular order through the budget committee, and give us a statement of business plan. Doesn't sound complicated. Any successful CFO, CEO would have to do it. I did it for 37 years when that was a glorification because my business was so little. I had just 15 employees for 17 years. The title would have been Jack of all trades, but I always kept those principles in mind. And what most people don't realize, when you're principle-based, when you do things always with the long view in mind, never borrow money unless you're going to invest it, never borrow it to spend it or consume it. We've become a nation kind of antithetical to that. Tom had a good nose when he was here, saw how it was going the wrong direction. If he'd only realized where we've gone since he's been gone, now 31 trillion in debt. When Tom and I got to know one another, we were about 17, 18 trillion in debt. And it's been on a runaway frenzy ever since. Sooner or later, those chickens come home to roost. It shouldn't be complicated to make the case. So no budget, no pay would simply be the fiscal year begins August or October 1st of every year. We do no budgeting currently in regular order. We don't even come up with a budget resolution, put a top line out there. We do this after the fiscal year is over, meaning after September 30th. Right now, we're into December, and we're still looking at the past fiscal year to get that house in order. It gives the careerists the ability to get behind closed doors, drop it all in our lap. This is generally a 1,000-page plus bill, having no idea what's in it. I'm on the budget committee. Bernie Sanders gavels us in now. No meeting in 2 years on budget mechanics, and the appropriators don't involve any of the other appropriators. You keep doing that, you shouldn't get your paycheck once we hit the end of the fiscal year until you get a budget crafted, not the gimmicks they use currently.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you. Will you re-sponsor the bill in the 118th?
Sure. Rick Scott and I constantly bring it out, but whether we get co-sponsors or whether it goes anywhere.
Co-sponsors is where we come in.
Yes, okay. And that's where we need your help.
Yeah.
So you probably need to get with Rick Scott's office, and he and I have been the two loudest proponents of it. And then there are probably 6 or 7 other senators. We lose a few, though, that are defense, hawks.
Yeah, I know.
It's important, but it can't be sacrosanct either in terms of the money that's involved.
You're saying the very same things that Tom said. So, I'm good with that. And we will challenge those senators. That's what we do.
Good.
Okay. We will.
And we had no help from the outside.
Right. And I think you have to have that. There's got to be some group like ours pushing from the outside. Right. So that you've teed up one thing I need. I know our minutes are getting short now. Is would you give your blessing to the people in your staff to help coordinate a meeting between a few of your team members and a few of Senator Scott's team members and myself?
Definitely.
Okay,
we will do that, and we'll get a hold of Scott's team and tell him that you will be kind of the moderator of this discussion, mostly in terms of how you're going to garner outside support to help us.
Right. And I'd like to get Manchin's people in that office too. We're all about nonpartisan. I feel
we'll try that, and I think Joe should be on board with us.
Yeah.